So hello everybody, my name is Saga and today I have the pleasure of discussing Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. Oh boy, am I excited for this video, and it's gonna be a long one. Trust me. So I finally finished this beautiful piece of art. It wasn't time ago, I didn't have an opportunity to film, but the film. If you don't know what this book is, I don't know where you have been. It's beautiful and I love it. And everyone should read it, and if they don't want to read it, we shall force them to read it. If you have read Sarah J. Maas's other series, Throne of Glass, and liked it, you will definitely like this as well. I'm 100% sure you will. But anyways, this is the first book, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and if you want to know what it's about, you just search it and find some quick way to know about it. You don't really need to know, you just need to read it and you'll love it. And it's perfection. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk first about my feelings about this book before I go into spoilers. If you just want to know that before you pick this up, I mean, I can't say anything else than that I loved it. It's just as good as the other one. To be honest, when I picked this up and just put it in my lap to just start reading the first page, I had a mental breakdown. I love this series so much. Like, it's unbelievable how much I love this series. I'd like to think my life wouldn't be the same without it, because I love it so much. So anyways, I started like just crying before even like opening the book, and it's just because it's so sad knowing that this would be the last time I could ever like follow Feyre and Rhysand and the Court of Dreams on any adventures ever again. Like, that just made me so sad. I mean, I know already that we are gonna go to Pripyat again because it says here on this page, but it's not gonna be the same because it will be like other stories, and I can see how you could tell other stories because I still have questions, okay? But I'll go more into that later. I just love Feyre, Rhysand, and the Court of Dreams. Squad goals. I want to join their club. Can I join, please? I mean, if you can't tell, I am dressed as an Illyrian today. I don't even know if you pronounce it Illyrian, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Here's my Illyrian leathers and my wings. Just ignore the feathers. And all black like tonight. I had no idea how this book would end because Sarah J. Maas is yet to end a book series. I mean, this is the first final book in a series she's ever made, so we didn't know how she liked to end things. Did she like a happy ending, or does she like to kill all the characters off, or does she like do a chapter where we see them 30 years into the future? I mean, we had no idea, and that scared me. I don't like not knowing, okay? But you know, when you'll read this, you'll find out. So I guess that's just my thoughts about it without like spoiling anything. And if you haven't noticed yet, I love this book. It just drives me crazy knowing that I won't be following my friends in this world anymore. But anyways, now if you have read the book, you can stay and we'll continue to discuss it. But if you have not read it, read it because you'll regret nothing. It is a piece of art on paper and it's perfect. So bye people who haven't read the book, bye, I'll see you later. Let's discuss spoilers. Okay, so we open the book and we get to see Feyre at the spring court. You know, going into this, we didn't really know if she was gonna, like, how much time she was gonna actually spend in the spring court. And, you know, she got away from there pretty quickly, I'd say. And man, oh, I just loved seeing her deceiving Tamlin and, you know, the other bastards. I don't like him. You know, we also get to meet Lucian there, and we all know that he's not completely certain Feyre is telling the truth about like being tortured and stuff and not loving Rhysand and stuff, because he's clever. Feyre, she's all like, yeah, it was just so awful in the night court. I really didn't like it. Yeah, okay. They are such monsters there. Are you sure though? Are you sure? I really don't want to talk about the memories. Okay. I'm watching you, Fair. I'm watching you. And another person we get to meet at Spring Court is Julian, because he's there on an errand from Hybern. He's got with him these prince and princess, I don't remember their names, like Branag. I'm pretty sure one of them was called Branag or something. So Feyre's plan is to make everybody at Spring Court love her and like try to make them feel as if Tamlin is failing them, and you know, just have sold them out to Hybern or something, and then she will leave and the people will think that it's Tamlin's fault because they loved Feyre. You know, so she makes this plan of how she's going to escape again back to her family, and she goes around and travel a little bit with Julian and, you know, the other and the Hybern Fae siblings. You know, when they reach the wall and these 3 humans have gone through the wall because they think it's all good in Prythian. So of course the 2 evil Hybern prince and princess wants to like kill them and I don't know, rape them and stuff, and that's very fucked up. So you know, Feyre tries to save them by going into their minds and sending them off, and already now we can see that something's up with Julian, like he doesn't want these 3 humans to get hurt by the Fae, and I already started debating a little bit in my head to myself what his main goal is here. Yanthe is also with them, and oh, like I hate that girl so much. I'm so glad she's dead. that beach, she can rot in hell. Or whatever they go to, she can rot there. You know, so Feyre plans her escape and she goes, and but then she sees Yanthe is like touching Lucian and stuff, and oh girl, ew. That you don't have any class, you don't have any style, go home. So Feyre makes her smash her own hand with a rock. That was satisfying, I'm gonna tell you. So Feyre starts fighting the other 2 High Fae from Hybern. She totally defeated them like a badass because, you know, they didn't think she was strong, but you know, she has been training all of these months and weeks and days to defeat them with her magic and with her awesome fighting skills. And Lucian, he totally is like surprised too, even though he suspected something was up with Feyre. So he goes with her, and I've seen so many people like online being so mad at Lucian for his actions in the previous book, and I totally agree with you, like that he didn't like step in and did something about Feyre's situation. Like Tamlin was treating her so bad, and you know, he didn't do anything, but at the same time I can see it from his point of view, like Tamlin really like rescued him, saved his life, and you know, they have known each other so long. Lucian just thought that maybe Tamlin had like a bad period or something, and that he really needed Feyre to heal, and that's why he didn't do anything, and it's totally wrong. Like, he should have done something about her condition, but at the same time I knew that if Lucian had a moment that would redeem him, I would forgive him. I already knew that, and I have forgiven him. I think pretty much everybody has. Lucian, he says this really great line in the book, and it goes like, I didn't realize I was the villain in your narrative. And I think that sums it up very great, because in Feyre's narrative he kind of was a minor villain together with Tamlin, but now, you know, he's good again. But of course they can't just like winnow up to the Night Court, because the food Feyre has been eating has like had this Fae... what was it even called? I can't remember. Fae stone powder, stone powder, I don't know, you know, they had like basically drugged her in her food so she couldn't use her magic at all, so they had to go through the Autumn Court. I hate those guys, like that's literally the only court where they are just douchebags because they can be douchebags. I hate the High Lord there. He's such a coward, he's such an asshole. I don't like him. Nobody does. And it's so interesting because we find out that he's not actually Lucian's father, and that's why like everybody has been, a lot of brothers and stuff have been hating on Lucian his entire life, because he's actually Helian's son. Wow, because he and Lucian's mother had an affair, and Feyre figures it out because she's also clever. It just explained so much when I heard it. And Helion, he's a cool dude. I like him. He's nice. Yeah, he's cool. I mean, was I the only one imagining like the superhero landing from Cassane and Asriel as they landed on the ice to rescue Feyre and Lucian? Like, that was the best shit ever. Like, well, again, just ugly face, tears down my face. It was just so beautiful. Finally meeting them again. Oh, it was perfect. Perfect. And Cassane's wings were healed, and I was just so relieved. Don't threaten my high lady. Yeah, that's right. Oh, don't threaten her. You'll get kicked. No, so they take Feyre and Lucian to Valaris, and Lucian, he's like completely, you know, he's just looking out over the city and can't believe that there's such a place in all of Prythian. Like, it's so untouched and just peaceful and friendly and beautiful, and everybody loves it. And really, he's just coming because he wants to meet Elaine. Because they are mates now, apparently. Well, so, you know, Feyre goes to the city and she stands at the door, and then she hears Rhysand's voice behind her, like, "Hello, Feyre, darling." And, you know, she breaks down, and oh, it was so beautiful. For the man away there, oh, they were beautiful. From then, they are just kind of trying to figure out how they are going to beat Hybern, because they will need more soldiers, and Feyre comes up with a bright idea of bringing the creatures into this, you know, the bone carver and similar creatures. No, so they go to the Court of Nightmares, and I hate that place. So they go there and pour more. I hate her father. I hate Eris as well, but I mean, not as much as I did, but I still hate him. He's not a good guy, okay? No, so Mor is just furious with Rhysand because he hasn't told her the, like, whole truth of why they are there, and, you know, she said that Asriel didn't back her up, and, you know, there's some tension between the people when they get back to Valaris, and like how awkward. As well, we like finally find out why Mor hasn't made a move on Asriel yet through all of these years, and it's because she's not actually interested in guys. She likes women more. Like that just explains so much. She says it herself, like, Asriel is just such a perfect guy, and she doesn't want to, like, ruin their friendship by having, like, sex with him and then dumping him because she don't think that he can take that. And she also just can't face him and tell him that she actually likes women. I think she should have just told him to save him the suffering. You know, he and Elaine kind of has a thing now. Like, I was so convinced when Asriel and Elaine started to, like, I don't know, bond, I guess. I was so convinced Lucian was gonna die because he and Elaine are mates, and Asriel can't die, so I thought that Lucian would die so that Asriel and Elaine can be together. I don't know. I mean, that didn't happen, and that's why I still have questions for further books. I mean, if we get other stories in this universe, I need to mention the Court of Dreams because they are so important to the story of Prythian now. They are part of the history. History has its eyes on you. You know, but the bone carver, he wants Feyre to retrieve the Ouroboros. Originally, we just think he wants it so that he can, like, look at the world from his little cell because he doesn't want to leave it. But it turns out looking into that mirror makes you crazy if you, like, aren't strong enough or something. Maybe that's not so good. And it is first in this book that we realize that the bone carver is looking like Rhysand's and Feyre's future son. They will have a son. They get Kyr's Nightbringers to join their army, and now we just need to go on this meeting between the High Lords to, like, decide what they are going to do in this catastrophe with Hybern. But, you know, Hybern already made their move before the meeting because they attacked Adriata in the Summer Court. Whoa, okay. I mean, poor Summer Court, they are basically the only court that was attacked. I mean, except for the Spring Court. But, you know, so Amren gets the warning from her lover. What's his name now again? Varian, yeah. They win their army there and, you know, fight together with the Summer Court soldiers to fight off Hybern. So, you know, Rhys finally finds the king of Hybern, but, you know, it's just like a projection of him. He's such a coward, like, he can't fight his own battles, and, like, Rhysand is so lazy, I think. I know the last time they were in the Summer Court, they were stealing from, you know, what's his name? I forgot the High Lord's name. Oh no. No, I forgot his name, the High Lord of Summer Court. Awkward! But anyway, the High Lord of the Summer Court, he, like, cancels the blood ruby stone that he sent for them, and, you know, they are friends now again, and, you know, so I guess that's great because, you know, the meeting is coming, they move it forward so that they can have it sooner. Oh man, that meeting! It was so awkward there. Like, I felt awkward just reading about it. Like, it was very stiff, if you can say that. A stiff meeting. But, you know, so they start talking, and then in the, you know, well, Eventually Tamlin joins, and oh, that's where things just starts to get out of hand. Like, oh, why did he have to come? Tamlin just made this situation so much more. We don't need all of your blaming on Feyre right now. We don't need to know how she was in bed. No, nobody needs to know without, except for you and Rhysand. Stupid Tamlin. Rhysand, do you know that sound she makes exactly before the climax? Shut up, Tamlin. This is not a pleasant conversation you're having with these people, so just shut up, please. So he claims he has these papers of like stuff from Hybern, so you know Helion takes a look at them, and Tamlin, he claims he wants to help them, and actually I believed him. He just had his heart broken, I guess. I mean, you kind of have to blame yourself, boy. So I guess all the High Lords are actually okay, except for the Autumn Court High Lord Baron. Oh, I hate that guy. You know, Tamlin, I guess he redeemed. If half redeemed himself in the ending. I think he did two good things, and you know, I'm grateful for those two things, because otherwise things would be very different. You see what I'm saying? You know, so they start this big battle where Hybern is in, you know, fighting places, and you know, they have to follow and fight them and stuff. And when Feyre was like, I have to see the serial. Are you gonna meet the #1 gossip girl of Prithian? Oh my god, I can't wait to meet the serial again. I love that guy. So she takes off and finds the serial, and he's like in he's like near to the Weaver's place. And then Ianthe is there for some, I can't recall why, but oh right, I remember. They had like put a tracking spell on the cloak that the serial wore or something, and when the serial died, I hate them. I can never forgive those soldiers and Ianthe for killing the serial. I don't know how I can have these feelings for this character. It's barely in the books. I love the serial. It may look scary and it may be scary, but I really like the serial. Okay, you know, dear, last conversation before the serial dies, just heartwarming. No, the serial. Why did you help me? You were kind. You had dreams. You were nice to me. No, don't die. I love you. I love you. But Feyre tricks Ianthe and the soldiers to go into the Weaver's cabin. Ah, that was satisfying. I hate that girl. She's such a big beach. She's a beach. She's such a beach. And the final battle was awesome. I loved that final battle. It was just turn after turn after turn after turn after turn. And the battle was crazy. So you know, the armies are pitched against each other, and Hybern's army are obviously like a lot bigger than the High Lord's army. But then Feyre reveals the Bone Carver and that other shadow thing that lived in the library. Like, that thing that lives in the library is freaking creepy. Like, it had such, like, easy prices. No, Feyre was like, okay, so creature, what do you want for fighting for us in the war? Will I be able to shed blood? Yes you will, but only the enemy's blood. Then I will fight for you, as long as I can see the stars and the sun. You want, we can put a window up in the ceiling if you want to? Yeah, yes. Okay, is that all? All of it? Then we have a deal. And it turns out the Rhysand has been a little busy of himself too, because he has recruited a Weaver to the army. And she's crazy. That girl, she's crazy. But now she's beautiful because she ate the youth and beauty of Ianthe. So now she's dead and ugly and old. I can't imagine a better punishment for that girl. No, so they battle and stuff, and then suddenly Baron's army showed up, and you know, we weren't sure that he would actually show up, but he did with his sons, and they like burned up the carts with all the Fae powder stone mist that they throw on the Fae to make them lose their power. And also Julian was there with a human army. Thank you, Julian. I was actually really surprised seeing him in the human realm when Elaine was there to like ask her fiance, or before this fiance, to like shelter any humans who wanted help. Like, that son is a douchebag. I hope he dies. How could he say that to her? How could he say that to her? Like, that's such a douchebag move. So mean. But the father was a little more reasonable. Like, he said, okay, and I will provide you with some army people for the war, because I can see it's the right decision in this situation. And so, you know, Julian was there and he wasn't actually crazy. All this time he wasn't crazy and he was on the human side all along. And you know, she was very surprised as well, because she can see the truth and she saw that he was telling the truth. Thank you, Julian. So Hybern takes out the Weaver by throwing some power from the cauldron right at her. No, it's the bone carver they kill. I'm sorry, I mean the bone carver. So he's dead. I don't think he mind, because he was smiling right before he died. It kind of makes me think he wanted to die all along. Then the other like ships arrive and more soldiers from Hybern comes from them. But then far in the horizon we can see even more ships coming to the shore, and they are ships from, you know, those other people that were heroes long ago. Their names is can't remember their names. There's so many weird names in these books, okay? I can't remember them all. Drakon is one of them, and Miriam. Drakon and Miriam, they come with their ships, and they have met up with, you know, that queen that turned into a firebird during the day, and you know, she has Lucian with them, and they start to fight against the Hybern fleet. You know, even Tamlin was there in the war with his little army from the Spring Court. You know, when Feyre was in Hybern and, you know, trying to save Elaine again, because she had been kidnapped. You know, Julian helped her to like rescue this other girl, and while Feyre rescued Elaine from Hybern, and you know, so they were running away. There's weird dogs with scales were hunting them. Feyre definitely would have been trapped there if it weren't for Tamlin, if he hadn't like come in and started fighting the dogs instead. And you know, the people and the King of Hybern, he was surprised. He showed a surprised face, and I liked that. So he helps Feyre and Asriel escape, and you know, so Feyre finally have learned to fly, and she flies away on the wind of spring, and she makes a hole in this like shield that Hybern has put around his camp, so they fly out of there, and Tamlin jumps through the hole as well. I gotta say, I really like the Winter Court. This is a little random in the conversation, but I really like the Winter Court. Like, they have little cute animals like foxes that run around and leave the letters in the camp. Like, oh, they have furry animals in their war camp. I wanna be in this war. Can I join the winter side? Like, they also have like furry ice bears that will fight with them, I guess. I like their strategy. So, you know, then finally Feyre and Amren is at the cauldron, and they are supposed to nullify it or something. So Amren tells Feyre to grab onto the cauldron. Like, in this moment, my mind, I felt so betrayed. It was insane. Like, Amren, how could you do this? I felt like I trust you. I was so mad. Like, I didn't know what she wanted in this moment, but she had tricked Feyre, and it was not a good sign. Okay, you know, it turned out in the end that it wasn't as bad as I thought. She was just trying to help, but I thought she would kill Feyre. To be honest, I thought she would do it to like save Prithian. Feyre get to witness the scene of Elaine and Nesta and Cassane meeting the King of Hybern. Cassane is on the ground again, just crawling towards Nesta, you know, because he will save her. Like, I love their little relationship through this book. Like, I so ship it. They're so cute together. Like, but you know, we think they are defeated because the king is just about to like finish them off, but then Elaine comes and stab him in the back or in the throat. What do you say about that? Elaine, you go, girl, with the sword that Asriel gave her. I kind of ship it. Then Nesta gets off the ground and she like takes up the sword and she's like, oh, blah, blah. And she picks up his head from the ground and like, that was scary and stuff. Then, you know, Feyre is supposed to save some spell when Amren gets into the cauldron because she's gonna show them her true form. Now I have my faith back in you, Amren. So she jumps into the cauldron and it explodes or something. She comes out of it and she unleashes herself upon the battlefield. But then, of course, we gotta have some little trouble in the end because the cauldron is broken and this like black nothingness is leaking out from it, and you know, the world is like gonna end if they don't stop it. So Feyre is supposed to put it back together with her blue magic and stuff, and you know, Rhysand, he gives her his power to do it as well, and he doesn't let her know that he's giving her all of it, everything that he has left. his life. And Sarah J. Maas, that sneaky little bastard, how dare she put "and recent is dead." Just reading that sentence, I was gonna burst into tears. What if you can't just write that in the book and expect me to not shed tears and be in agony? And he's dead, and Feyre, she's like, stay, stay, stay. I'm just chanting it with her in real life in my bed. People probably thought I was crazy. Stay, stay, stay. You gotta stay, Reason. I want you to stay. Reason, I hold on. Stay. You better stay, Reason. I was so worried because we didn't know how Sarah J. Maas liked to end her stories, because she hasn't ended a series yet. I mean, this is the first series she has ended, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if there would be a happy ending or if everybody would die. I'm sorry if I overreacted a little bit, because I'm not sorry, because I was scared. But you know, they do the same thing they did with Feyre. They like took a little bit of their soul and they poured it down on Reason so that he got his life back. Like, I was so scared when Tamlin got into the tent and Reason was there dead, and everybody had already poured a bit of their soul onto him, and Tamlin was the only one left. I didn't know what he was going to do, but you know, he stepped forward and he said, "Be happy, Feyre." And so he came back to life. My life was complete. This ending was more happy than I could have ever imagined. I don't believe it. I can't believe it. We got away so easy. It was such a happy ending. Everybody was alive. I mean, even Amren, she just lost like her powers, but she was alive and well and could spend her time with the Varian. What is this? Sorcery. I can't believe we got such a happy ending. I just can't grasp it. I'm so relieved. Oh, I love the ending. So it was a happy ending, and I was so glad, because I don't like sad endings. Who likes sad endings? That's like very messed up. Everybody likes good endings. Anyways, I guess that's my final thoughts. If you loved this as much as I did, I love you too. And you can, I don't know, comment or something, or like video if you liked it. I'll hopefully see you some other time in another book talk. So bye for now.